Hello and welcome to the next exciting round of Beer Thursday, where we have another fascinating and fun topic for you. How are you, Jay?
I am great, and I love fascinating and fun topics. What do we have in the old barrel today, huh?
I thought you were going to cuss for a second. I thought you were about to say, I am fucking this. I am.
Oh, no, for my New Year's resolution, I made the New Year's resolution that I would not say cuss words anymore. So I've got that. I've already failed. Yes.
I'm damn proud of you.
That and not making any more New Year's resolutions, which is I did last year, and I did quite well.
Oh, that's a motherfucker of an aspiration right there. I don't mind telling you.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. So what we talking about?
I'm really enjoying going through these listicles that I'm finding on the Edge launch page. And I found one, ran it by you, Jay, and you said, yeah, let's talk about it.
I did no such thing. I mean, yes,
you can't say that. You can't say that.
You can't say that.
30 time-honored sayings woke culture wants to erase from history. Not just stop saying it, apparently, but erase from history. Which is
if you ask me, that's just crazy.
Which just happens to be number one, Jay. Believe it or not. That's crazy is a phrase that, I guess, what is known as woke culture, the culture currently known as woke, doesn't like.
Wow.
Okay, and they're saying it is important not to label people or actions as being crazy or insane. It's insensitive language.
How stupid.
Yeah, that is. I think that's kind of stupid. Crazy is not a technical term. I mean, what
you're not.
What are you supposed to say?
Crazy. You're just. Well, that's crazy.
Uniquely different train. Or mama, we're all having unique personalities now. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah.
The other thing too is that I can never tell on these listicles if it's what this one person thinks, the author, or if they conducted some kind of poll and one person mentioned it. So then they think, oh yeah, let's add it to the list, even though one person mentioned it. I'm talking to you, Victoria Richards of Trends and Tactics.
In these days of just fake news and media and all that kind of stuff, I'm imagining that whoever wrote this, and I could be wrong, it's probably a poll of one. They probably polled themselves and then came up with the list. And if they didn't, or if they did, then they should poll themselves.
Nice. Poll yourself.
Sorry.
Poll yourself before you lose control of yourself. Jay, you need to take a sanity check.
What?
Sanity check.
You can't fool me. There ain't no sanity check. Sorry.
Shout out to Chico Marks.
Chico.
Yeah, so they're saying sanity check it's insensitive for those struggling with mental health, so it should be eradicated.
Oh my God.
Eradicated.
That's just crazy. Oh shit. Insane. No. Wow.
Not only did you break one of the time-honored sayings that need to be erased from history, but you cussed.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's how crazy it is. It made Jay cuss.
Yeah. It made me break my New Year's revolution. All
right. This one, it almost seems like they're going to get rid of all of Michael Scott's shtick in this too. I'm colorblind.
Okay. You can't erase colorblind because it's an actual condition. There are people in this world who are colorblind, But I know what they're trying to say when people say, I don't see color. Well, that's a damn lie. Of course you see color, unless you're colorblind. Well,
Yes.
What's even if somebody says that, what's wrong with it? It's racist now?
Well, let me quote Ms. Richards, what she says.
Okay.
And you can tell me what you think.
All right.
The phrase can be seen as a way of denying the existence of racism. Sorry. By claiming that we should all be colorblind, we essentially say that racism is not a problem. That is not true. Racism is a natural and persistent problem that needs to be addressed. I think Ms. Richards might be 12.
I think you're right. I mean, that's ageism, by the way.
Is it? I thought it was just insulting. I thought I was just saying she wasn't very smart because people don't, when someone says that, even when they're being serious, they're not denying the existence of racism. It's their way of saying that person, that one individual who said it, isn't a racist. And they're not claiming that everybody should be colorblind.
They're just saying, hey, you know what? I don't really see the difference between you and me. Obviously, I know we're different. We may be different colors or cultures, but I'm colorblind.
By the way, shout out to my friend Jeremy at work, who I discussed this list with when I sent it to you, Jay. And Jeremy is literally colorblind. He can't see. I don't remember what colors he can't see.
He can't see music or hair.
Colors, Jay. It's either red or blue that he can't see, but his shoes are blue. So does that mean he looks down and he just sees his feet? He doesn't see that he's wearing any shoes, or do the shoes look gray? I should have asked him that. Dang it.
I say to you, Miss Richards, does that mean that Shane's friend being colorblind, he's no longer to be are you offended by this condition in which he has? Because to me, that's offensive.
Jeremy is not racist at all, Victoria. So you are wrong.
Exactly.
Oh,
I mean, I see no color.
Because we're colorblind.
Sorry.
It's like Michael Scott. Shout out to Michael Scott. Well, Jay, we're 4 into this, and it's time for a toast.
Oh man. Wow, that's fast.
I know. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this.
Well, if you don't mind, since this, I don't know when this is going to air, but we are in a new year, 2024.
2024.
Yes. So I would like to maybe we raise our glasses to, or our beers or whatever we may be drinking right now. And how about a toast to another trip around the sun?
Ooh. May it be gentle and smooth.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
This water, this beer is going down. It's almost like it's water.
It's going down like the swans of Capistrano.
Yes.
Let's call back to our sayings we like to use all the time. Round.
Yes. I love that one. I love that one.
Okay, here we go. Let's attack Neil Armstrong now. One small step for mankind. Now, is she talking about Nick Foley?
See, that's what I thought you were saying. Why would someone want to cancel him? He's such a nice guy.
She's saying that we should use humankind instead of mankind because mankind is gender exclusive.
I'm sorry, but I'm offended by that because I identify as a puppy dog. So I am not a human.
Alrighty then. You know what's interesting about that is I remember in college, this is back in when did we go to college? Early 90s, when we would get failed if we used sexist language. And so now we're at a point, where we can't say mankind, or we have to say humankind. But the thing is, before that, like before the 90s, mankind, that was gender neutral, right? It wasn't gender exclusive. If anything, males didn't have our own pronoun or language. We shared it, right? There was
right.
And in that same way, and I think maybe that came from the Romantic languages where you have el and la, and you have masculine and feminine nouns. And then in that sense, and there too, if it's an all male group, there's a word. If it's a mixed group, there's a word. But if it's all females, it was a different word. So, in that language too, males didn't have their own words. It was the gender neutral word or the masculine word. Also, I could be wrong about all that. I don't know much.
I will say that the humankind, I get it, but I mean, I don't think of the word mankind as meaning man. Just like when I don't think something being referred to as man-made is really made by a man. It just means it's made by a human.
By a human, by a person.
Yeah. It's I don't see it that way. Some people who are petty do, and that's these type of people, Miss Richards, or if that is your real name.
I wonder if, she's probably really cool and would be a fun guest on Beer Thursday.
Yeah, actually, I take everything back. But I would love to have Miss Victoria Richards as a guest, because I would love to hear her side, but I would love to hear her have an intelligent conversation. Wait a minute. We'd have to invite someone else on to have that intelligent conversation with her. But
she's going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, Victoria Richards, if you're listening, oops, and according to what I just Googled, there are a lot of different Victoria Richards, and some of them don't always wear clothes on their Instagram page.
Oh, no. Well, obviously, we're talking about a different Victoria Richards.
Yes. But the Victoria Richards who wrote this article, reach out. You can be on Beer Thursday anytime.
Yes.
Anytime.
Yes.
Mostly. Almost. Just about.
We'd be happy to have you, and you could explain to us why we're wrong, because I am not afraid to admit when I am wrong.
I am. I agree. I am not afraid to admit when Jay is wrong.
So what else do we have?
Let me show you the master bedroom.
Oh, I've been through this one. We're looking for a house, and we went to looked at a house, and the person that sells, the realtor agent, said, refer to it as the primary bedroom, and we kept calling it master bedroom, and someone explained to us they don't call it the master bedroom anymore because it indicates a time in humankind when master bedroom had sort of a different connotation to it.
Okay. I don't think at any point in history when did they call the master bed or the primary bedroom the master bedroom because it had anything to do with servants or slaves or anything. It was
just the master of the house.
Master of the house. Master of the house. Sorry, I've been listening to Les Mis lately. That's gay. Just kidding.
My grandmother, my mom's mom, my mama used to send me when I'd receive letters from her or cards or whatever, she'd address it to Master J. Ray.
Yeah.
Ooh,
because I think Disney still does that for the kids. I think they're called Master. They call the girls. I can't remember. It's been a while. But yeah, I think that one's dumb. It doesn't have anything to do with, it's a reach.
Yeah, I think it's
I hope the real estate agents that are pushing this didn't injure their shoulders when they were making that reach to some point that they're trying to make. All right,
I'm with you on that. I will have to say this though. I just along those lines, having been in the technical industry, we have voice servers, for example, and they would refer them as you had your main and your backup. So it was the master, and they referred them as the master and the slave. That's how they were referred to. I can see that being offensive. Master bedroom, I don't know, not so much.
Yeah. It's as though we're not supposed to use the word slave anymore, but it's always had a lot of other connotations other than the ones that are the reason for these new restrictions on what we can say. So I don't know.
I get it, but I don't want people telling me what I can and can't say. I know what's okay and what's not okay.
When I was making notes, for a recording we're about to do with our Every Rush Song podcast, where we're doing the song Alien Shore, and there's a line in it, slave to the hormones, or slave to our hormones, slave to the hormone. And so I'm making these notes about that line, and Grammarly kept saying, you can't say the word slave. Well, okay.
Oh, really?
It's a lyric from a song from 1,000 years ago when you could be a servant to something, and you could anthropomorphize something that you're addicted to and say that you're a slave to it. Or would that be personification?
So anyway. You can't. So the song "Slave to the Grind" can't be performed anymore.
I would probably be considered inappropriate. Right. Problematic is the word that he used. Problematic. Jay, we are out of time, and we've already scratched the surface of this list. So are we going to have to make this
scratching
a dose?
Well, we're going to have to do part 2. Yeah, absolutely.
We can get to part 2. Okay.
Well, in that case, we want to thank you, dear listener, for being the dear listener. If you're a patron, we want to thank you for being a patron. And if you're not a patron, we would love you to be a patron, and you can do so for as little as $5 a month. That is like the price of a Starbucks. So, you're really, I'm talking about the whole thing. These, the Starbucks
whole store. Yeah, $5.
Yeah. But frankly, I prefer Dutch Brothers, but that's just me. But thank you for listening. Please continue to listen, and we will be back here for another exciting round. But I'm not going to say yet. We'll be back here next week for another exciting round of Beer Thursday theme song.
We'll be lucky.
Maybe. Maybe.